Your website generates millions of behavioral events every single day, like page views, searches, clicks, and so on. And all these events are currently logged inside your Google Analytics account, being completely invisible to your apps and agents. In this episode, we're going to use the new GA4 Web SDK Connector to fetch these events into Data 360 in near real time. And we're going to make them queryable via the Data 360's standardized data model. My name is Aditya. I am a developer advocate here at Salesforce, and let's get started. Pronto has a website that customers use to search for restaurants, browse their menu, and place orders. Data 360 offers a native web SDK that you can configure from scratch and embed in your website to start capturing events. Here is a high-level overview of the end-to-end process. You first create a connector. Then you define the schema, which denotes the type of events that you want to capture and the fields that you will capture for each event. Then you create data capture rules that define what events should fire when. For example, you want to capture an event whenever the user clicks a certain button. Then you embed the Web SDK script in your website to start the collection process. Finally, you create data streams and map the data to relevant data model objects. Since Pronto's website is already integrated with Google Analytics, we can use the new GA4 Web SDK connector to automate most of the setup process. With this connector, we automatically create the schema, we create the sitemap or the data collection rules, we create data streams, and we even create mappings from DLOs to the relevant data model objects. Here is Pronto's website. On the right, notice the events being sent to Google Analytics as I browse through. I find a restaurant that I like, filter through their menu using dietary preferences and spice level, add items to cart, check out the cart, and so on. As I was browsing, multiple events were being sent to Google Analytics. In a typical Google Analytics and GA4 setup, there are two tools that are involved. First is the Google Tag Manager, and second is Google Analytics. Google Tag Manager is a central brain that collects engagement data and dispatches it to multiple systems, whether it is Google Analytics, Meta, or even Data 360. Within Google Tag Manager, you define tags, which are nothing but code snippets that execute when certain triggers are met. These triggers can be page views or HTML element clicks. Once you load this tag manager on a website, it creates a data layer, which captures all the events from the website. If the events match the trigger conditions, then the corresponding tags are fired. Here is the current setup for Pronto's tag manager. They have a Google tag that sends events to Google Analytics. And this tag is triggered on every page load. And in the source code of their website, they have added the tag manager library as a script. And then they are pushing multiple events to the data layer using data layer.push. This can be events like consent, page views, and search, which is fired when a filter value changes. Once these events come into the data layer, the tag manager is going to dispatch them to the respective applications based on the triggering conditions. Let's now leverage this entire setup to capture the same events in Data 360. From the Websites and Mobile Apps section in Data 360 Setup, click New and select Connect a Website with Google Analytics. Give it a name and click Next. Here we can start the automated setup. Once the process is complete, let's see what has been created. First, click on View Definitions to see the schema for all the different events that we capture. Now, Google Tag Manager defines several recommended events, and each event has its own predefined schema. The Web SDK automatically translates Tag Manager's events into this format. So whenever a website pushes one of the recommended events to the data layer, the Web SDK automatically captures it and translates it to one of these schema definitions. Next, we have data capture rules that automatically sets the consent for Data 360 based on the existing Google Analytics consent mechanism. In the next section, you can start the automated process that creates the data streams and the data mapping. Once the process is complete, you can go to the Data Streams tab. We can see the behavioral and identity streams that have been created. And once you go into the mapping of the behavioral stream, you can see that we've automatically mapped all the data to relevant DMOs. The final step is to add the Web SDK tag or script to our website. You can either manually add the script or you can leverage Google's Tag Manager. Here, you need to authenticate your Google account and select the Google container and workspace to push this tag to. Once done, back in Google Tag Manager, you can see here there is a new tag, which is the Web SDK script that gets pushed to a website whenever a page is loaded. Let's see this in action. I can see the Web SDK script is automatically pushed to my website, and the events will start flowing into Data 360. But before we start sending events, let's make a small change to this standard configuration that you have seen. Notice we have a zip code that every user must choose before they interact with the app. I want to capture this in all the events that are sent to Data 360. To do that, first I need to add a new field to the schema, for which I click on Add Definitions, and then I download the current definitions, which is a JSON file. Within this, I add a new zip code field to the event that I want. In this case, I'm adding it to the search event. We then upload this updated schema back to the connector. Now to populate this value of this field, we leverage data collection rules. I add a new global action listener, which fetches the zip code and adds it to every interaction. You can learn more about the different types of listeners in the documentation, which I have linked in the description below. Finally, we map this new field to the relevant field on the DMOs. Let's now see this entire setup in action. Once I load the page, I can see the Web SDK script is automatically pushed to my website. First, I give consent. And since my data collection rules automatically translate Google Analytics consent into Data 360 consent, notice the Data 360 consent events being sent. Now I can click on a filter, which sends a search event to the data layer, which is already configured. Now the Data 360 Web SDK translates this search event into a Data 360 event and sends it across. Notice the zip code is being captured and sent as well. Back in Data Explorer, I can see all this information in the DMOs. In this case, the Web Search Engagement Data Model object shows the products that are being searched along with the zip code. We now have all the three data sources of Pronto flowing into Data 360. But here is the problem. A customer's record coming in from Google BigQuery, from the website, and from Salesforce CRM are still treated as three separate entities or three separate records in the individual object. Data 360 doesn't yet know that all the three belong to the same person. That's what we are going to fix in the next episode with identity resolutions. I'll see you all there.